Love to notice that trend next year.
McNary High School. Welcome to McNary High School's 57th commencement exercise. On behalf of our district, the Salem-Keizer School Board, and the school's students and faculty, it is my pleasure to welcome parents, family members, and friends to the class of 2022's graduation. Would everyone in attendance please rise and join our graduates in the playing of the national anthem. Gentlemen, but not graduates, please remove your hats. Please be seated. Before we begin today's ceremony, I would like to ask for your assistance with our program. At McNary High School, we are proud of the dignity and seriousness from which we conduct graduation. In order to make this ceremony enjoyable and respectful to all families, please silence your cell phones so that our graduation is uninterrupted. Help us demonstrate that today's event marks a joyful but serious milestone in the lives of our graduates and in the lives of our families. We want to enjoy this evening by honoring the efforts of our students in a way that shows respect for them and our school. These proceedings are being filmed by Capital Community Media and can be viewed on the local access channel. Please consult your TV listings for times and for dates. Each year, when we get ready for graduation, I always take a look at prior commencements as a reference. I I have a book right here that I use, and I go back and I look at our prior years. And usually I'll go back to at least the 2 previous years, because we're looking for something that typically we try to replicate in this particular commencement. In 2020, we actually had 2 separate programs and scripts to prepare for. One was for a virtual ceremony, which thankfully we did not do. And the second was for an in-person ceremony, which was held in August instead of June, and we had 7 of them. So needless to say, we've had an interesting time with graduations recently. Last night, I had intended to say at this time that fortunately this year's commencement was going to be a little less complicated and a little less tricky than both the 2020 and 21 ceremonies were. However, the weather forecast went from intermediate showers to what we later read was a potential for an atmospheric river and windy conditions. And we decided to maintain our somewhat new tradition of keeping the planning of this ceremony as tricky as possible by moving everything from the stadium into the gymnasium earlier this morning. I've got some folks that are on our graduation committee that have been here since 5:30 this morning doing that work, and we definitely appreciate their efforts. So as I mentioned, I tend to look back at prior commencements, and I know that years from now I will look back at this commencement and this graduating class and think of this group of seniors that came into high school under somewhat normal circumstances, endured a 2-year storm similar to what we are experiencing outside, but then finished their high school career under, again, more normal circumstances. And I think that experience over those 4 years has led our students to be smarter, stronger, and more resilient than anyone could have hoped for 4 years ago when they were coming into our high school. So for that, I applaud you. Today, we are honored to have some very special guests participating with the administrators for tonight's commencement activities. First, I'd like to present to you our Executive Director of Human Resources for Salem-Keizer Public Schools, Mr. John Bate. The Director of Elementary Schools in her final commencement exercise of her career, Mrs. Heidi Litchfield. And our School Board Director, Mrs. Danielle Bethel. And as I mentioned before, I'd like to acknowledge the tremendous efforts of so many people that helped make our graduation such a success for tonight. Untold staff members came to us this morning saying, how can I help out? We had a number of students that were able to help out with chairs. We certainly have all kinds of folks that help make tonight a special evening for our students. I'd also like to specifically acknowledge the members of our graduation committee that put together today's events. And those are Todd Layton, Ashley Gruber, Lexi Johnson, Jim Litchfield, Corinne Jackson, Heidi Tavares, Andy Thomas, Dan Borison, Elizabeth Herring, Senior Master Sergeant Stephen Hammond, Master Sergeant Javier Martin Venus, our junior ROTC cadets, our security staff, and the Keizer Police Department. Let's give them a big round of applause. At this time, it is my distinct pleasure to welcome to the podium our ASB President, Ms. Lisa Holm.
All right, for the last time, I get to introduce the senior speaker. Our student speaker has remained involved at McNary High School in both leadership and AVID while being an active member of the community. It is my honor to present the class of 2022's senior speaker, Ms. Mariah Benitez.
Thank you, Lisa. Right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the graduation ceremony for the class of 2022. My name is Mariah Benitez, and I am honored to stand before you. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone who made this day possible on behalf of the senior class. Thank you to all the teachers and staff that gave their all each and every day, laboring to provide us with a tremendous education, and who pushed us even on days we did not want to learn. Thank you, administrators, for the oversight you bring to the school and for making tough calls when needed. Thank you to all the families that are representing the senior class whose support, sacrifice, and dedication has not been overlooked. And finally, thank you to the insane amount of Red Bulls that got us through this final year and our horrible senioritis. But most importantly, I want to thank and congratulate the McNary Celtics before me. We have all worked hard over these past 4 years in order to walk across the stage and say we've done it. 13 years really did fly by. We went from being incredible Rice Krispie makers and finger painters to now being high school graduates. I mean, there were definitely some bumps and falls in the midst of this road, but we got up and kept going. Starting out as kids, all we ever wanted to do was grow up. But being with you all here today makes me want all of that just to slow down for a bit. Our high school experience was not like any other generation's. Sure, we had the Friday night football games and prom, but we also survived one of the most heroic events of our century. Now, the fact that we are all able to be gathered here today shows that we've made it out. Even if we had to stare at 28 muted black boxes 2 times a week to continue both of half our sophomore and junior years, we still made it. We showed resilience and perseverance while still embracing our failures because let's all be honest, we all didn't get straight A's during this time. We missed out on the importance of our high school years, the years where we start to truly understand where we want to go in life and who we want to be. I am just glad we stuck it all out and adapted to being individually motivated. As one of the great teachers here would say, we remembered who we are and what we represent. Although teachers and staff tried to motivate us as much as they could, asking for help was always hard to do. Well, at least for me. I saw it as a weakness. One thing about maturing is realizing that it is not a weakness to ask for help, but more of a strength. McNary has taught me that turning our weaknesses into our strengths is always possible. Whether that was learning how to become the master of Quizlet and SparkNotes, or learning how to sacrifice sleep for the all-nighters we pulled to write that paper we had 2 weeks to work on. One thing for sure we learned is how to utilize hope as a means for growth. I am a strong believer that everything happens for a reason. We may not understand or have answers for it all, but that's okay. Life is and will always be a roller coaster. As we all embark on our individual journeys, remember that your successes isn't defined by the opportunities you are given. It is defined about what you make out of the opportunities you have had. We are all on different paths and at different times, so let's not compare ourselves to each other. Someone graduated at the age of 22, but waited 5 years before securing a good job. Someone became a CEO at 25 and died at 50, while another became a CEO at 50 and lived till 90. Someone is single, while someone from his high school friend group is a grandfather. Obama retired at 55, and Trump started at 70. Everyone in this world works based on their own time zone. People around you might seem to be ahead of you, and some might seem to be behind you. But everyone is running their own race in their own time. Do not envy them. They're in their time zone, and you are in yours. So relax. You're not late. You're not early. We are very much on time. Class of 2022. The thing about new beginnings is that something needs to end. For us, we are saying goodbye to our awkward phase of being a high schooler and welcoming our new chapters in our life. But we are not done yet. We have just started. Good luck, guys. You're going to need it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mariah. Now I get to introduce the keynote speaker. This keynote speaker came to McNary 4 years ago, as we did. Ever since, she has made countless impacts on our lives. She's always dependable and trustworthy, especially when you need someone to talk to, ask about important school information, and learn anything about history. These past 4 years, many of us have witnessed her own selflessness and ultimately know that she would undoubtedly help anyone that is in need. Without her help, a handful of us would not be able to walk today. She has made many sacrifices for our class as she continues to contribute and become an influential part of our community as well as our lives. She always strives for excellence as she supports and pushes us to be greater. Without further ado, the keynote speaker of the class of 2022, Ms. Lexi Johnson.
Hello, friends and family of the class of 2022. I stand before you honored to have been chosen for this position, and when I initially pondered what I would say in front of 1,000 people that sit proudly before their child, grandchild, sibling, family member, student, or friend, I decided that statement would be, they have faced what few else have and persevered. I continued to think as I wrote this speech that many use the time to dispense life lessons and words of wisdom. And while I will say something along those lines, I want to share with you the lessons that I, in fact, learned from you that I now know. You're a class of students that will make change in the world. Your ferocious spirit, your vibrancy and intensity, paired with your intelligence and problem solving, will take you far. Remember these attributes of yourselves and be your own best cheerleader. You are a class of students that will persevere and prevail. Faced with tremendous challenges, you returned from distance learning to show your younger peers exactly what McNary School Spirit is about. Yet school spirit is more than just face paint at a game and cheering for our athletes, actors, artists, and scholars. It's about creating an environment in the halls of McNary that is worthy of emulation. Your animated attitude and positivity will echo through the halls of McNary as a legacy that you all helped create. You are a class of students that will realize high school is just a bubble waiting to burst. High school is unique in that you are forced into crowded hallways, classrooms with peers that you see on a daily basis. Upon your graduation, that bubble bursts, and suddenly the crowded hallway dissipates, and you have the freedom of independence to choose for yourself who enters your world on a regular basis. You are now quite literally choosing your own adventure story. Paths on your adventure will lead different directions from those that you have spent the last 4, if not more, years with. Those paths, your adventures, they may or may not cross again, but you and only you have the power to choose where you go on your way. You will emerge from McNary and take on the world one day at a time. Sometimes your steps forward will feel like a shuffle, some will be a stride, but above all else, you will continue to progress. Even when steps feel backward or stagnant, remember to be your own best cheerleader. You're a class of students that will remember who you are and what you represent. No longer in the walls of McNary, your character will echo throughout the communities and areas you are in. The way you carry yourself, your actions, your words will all represent you and your values. Your actions will speak the volume of your character. So remember that the way you carry yourself and the way you treat others are likewise the way people see you. Ustedes son una clase de estudiantes que pueden hacer todas las cosas en el mundo. Ha creado oportunidades para usted durante su tiempo en McNary. Tus habilidades y destrezas se llevarán lejos en la vida y estar a la altura del desafío de asistir y tener éxito en una escuela que no es tu primer idioma muestra más fortaleza que la mayoría en este mundo. Todos ustedes cambiarán esta ciudad, este estado y este país. And a quick translation if you needed it, you are a class of students who can do all things in this world. You've created opportunities for yourself throughout your time at McNary. Your abilities and skills will take you far in life, and to rise to the challenge of attending and succeeding at a school and not your first language shows more strength than many in this world. You will change this city, this state, and this country. So congratulations y felicidades as you enter this next chapter to your family members, your friends, your support system along the way. But most importantly, congratulations to you. Your efforts, your energy, and your work ethic fueled you and got you across the graduation stage. So go forth into the world, be your own best cheerleader, and always remember who you are and what you represent. Thank you.
Thank you, Lexi. Now it's the time to honor our salutatorians and valedictorians. Could our salutatorian please come to the stage? This outstanding student in front of us had an impressive breadth of knowledge and skill. She demonstrated a strong dedication to her academic success, and she's made us tremendously proud. We recognize this graduate who has pursued a demanding course of study with only a single B in coursework during 8 semesters of high school. Ellie Martin, congratulations, you are 2022's salutatorian. In this session, we have 2 scholars from the class of 2022 serving as co-valedictorians. We announced the other co-valedictorians in earlier sessions. These 2 students have pursued a rigorous course of study while maintaining a perfect 4.0 GPA over 8 semesters of high school. When I call your name, please step forward and be recognized. Sydney Epperly. Candice Barr. Congratulations to these 2 scholars. Go ahead and have a seat. I want to remind you that this particular class has been hit harder with the loss of classmates than ever before. In memory of 3 students who have passed away, we will read their names during the awarding of our diplomas. Caps and gowns have been placed on 3 chairs in memory of these students. We are now at the part of the ceremony for which we've all been waiting: the presentation of diplomas for the graduating class of 2022. At this time, I'd like to bring up Mrs. Dawn Reichley.
He's gonna try. Dacian Villarreal. Evelyn Hernandez Villarreal. Emily Bish. Ellie Goad. Sophia Johnson Tennis. Nicolette Penrod. Jacob Valdivia. Logan Green. Skylar Burns. Stephanie Lara Chavez. Victor Ayala. Ashton Gadati. Teresa Dunham. Alyssa Hodges. Isaiah McGrath. Carlos Saldana. Isaac Saldana. Hallie Torres. Austin Zebart. Amber Ball. Rex Comstock. Logan Wilson. Isaro Ramirez Flores. Grace Ghosh. Jordan Ferraro. Julian Campos. Mark Martinez. Crystal Hernandez Gonzalez. Ellie Martin. Elizabeth Villanueva. Michelle Rodriguez Chavez. Marisol Garcia. Nick Talamontes. Emily Lettenmeyer. Sydney Epperly. Aaliyah Davies Garo. Kyle Adar. Hannah Bissonnet. Jasmine Hill. Gariel Quintanilla Mendez. Jose Rios Garcia. Eric Leon Sanchez. Isaur Aguilar. And now Mr. Tom Kavanaugh.
We got this. Pablo Cisneros Ramos. Laz Chavez Jr. Anthony Casillas. Tyron Sampson. Hannah Kais. Dominic O'Farrell. Alex Contreras. Moises Chino Miramontes. Jair Bautista Martinez. Kermit Rubin. Ford Whitehouse. Daniel Moreno. Linares. Miguel Linares. Christian Garcia. Sage Allen. Omar Delgado. Caitlin Bowles. Lisa Luna. Benjamin Sanchez Luna. Aiden Lackey. David Shaw. Maui? All right. Ben Hunt. Makai China. Connor Rakosi. Kevin Breckenridge. Raina Working. Hetsamani Cuevas Chavez. Marlinda Dominic. Caden Berry. Ty Luna. Lane Runyon. Brian Pablo Zaragoza. Hannah Yapel. Cadence Barr. Connor McCracken. Fabio Medina. Hector Serratos Rojas. Kylie Music. And here we are, 4 graduation ceremonies later. We have made it. There is a McNary tradition that the person who brings up the end here is known as the McNary anchor. And I believe we have a very deserving anchor this year. So if I may just say, for the class of 2022, the anchor, Ronnie-Lynn Anderson.
At this time, I'd like to bring up Lisa and Mariah to the podium. Just trying to get there.
All right. Ready? Yeah. Graduates, please rise. To mark our graduation from high school and as a symbol of our achievements, we will now move our graduation tassels from the right-hand side of our mortarboards to the left-hand side. Congratulations, class of 2022.
Ladies and gentlemen and honored guests, please stand and join me in congratulating McNary High School's graduating class of 2020. Graduates, we congratulate you on your accomplishments, and guests, we thank you for all your support you've provided. You've shown us tremendous resilience and perseverance. Graduates, at this time, we want you to please follow Mr. Borison and Mr. Litchfield out of the gymnasium as they escort you. Families, if you could allow these students to exit, and then we'll allow you to exit out this area or this area to meet your graduates in the parking lot. Thank you all and have a wonderful evening.